In January, the Puget Sound Regional Council reported the region has lost 12,900 jobs last year, excluding the pandemic. This was the first annual decrease in jobs since 2009, the depth of the Great Recession. Remember talks of green shoots. President Barack Obama's garden-inspired phrase describing the tenets of signs of recovery. Well, listen, you get a government in place that sees the business as the golden goose that they want to strangle all over the place. And then they talk about how Amazon's the reason that there's a housing crisis, because Amazon came in and paid a whole bunch of people a whole bunch of money, and that's why you have a bunch of homeless people. And now you just see nonprofits having anything where between 1 month and 6 months of operating income. I saw, unfortunately, from all my friends who are at the Fifth Avenue Theater, they had layoffs there, layoffs at the Pacific Science Center, and just ongoing problems in Seattle. But the state is not business friendly. We win, I think, we're number 7th. I think we're number either 43 or 47th because businesses look for the greener pasture. The same reason that you go to Costco and stand in line for an hour or try to find a parking spot is because the prices are better. So you go there. There's an incentive. You drive right past the old grocery store down the street and you go somewhere else because you can save money. The same thing with businesses. Businesses are people making decisions that best benefit the people. And Seattle is not open for business. You can see quite simply the fact that we have more than 30-some% of vacancies in our commercial buildings in Seattle. That's a problem. And then when you have people that work for Katie Wilson, the new mayor, suggesting that they have a vacancy tax on top, which is the most absurd thing. Here's some poor guy that's got a giant mortgage, that's got a commercial building with a whole bunch of investors, and he wants to charge X amount of dollars per square feet, $54 or whatever it is. And the city comes along and goes, we don't like the fact that your building is empty. The guy doesn't like the fact that it's empty either. And they're like, drop the price. From whatever it was, $100 a square foot or $55, drop it. Okay, then why don't you and the landlord go to the bank together and sit down and wait for the banker to come in. Then you can sit in the big fancy leather chairs and say, the city can say to the banker, listen, I know you have a mortgage that you're carrying on this. I know that you've lent them the money for it, but we're going to recommend, rather than making, X amount of dollars to repay, we're going to tell him to lower the price what he pays for square footage. And if not, we're going to charge him a vacancy tax. Because that's what the guy can afford. He's got an empty building. Oh, there's an extra tax on top? Woo! That'll motivate me. What?
No, I'm with you.
You're defending this?
No, I'm not defending it.
I don't know you anymore.
I'm as flabbergasted as it.
Now, it hasn't gone through yet. But the fact that somebody would sit there, I guess they started the meeting with, okay, no bad ideas, no bad ideas. Anyone, anybody, guys up there with the gigantic, poster board, the big, thing with the paper, and they're flipping it over the easel, and they got the magic marker. Yeah, no bad idea. And in the back, yeah, guy with a wool hat on, even though it's hot outside and you're vaping. What was your...
What about a vacancy tax?
Vacancy tax. Let's put that down. Vacancy. Don't mind my spelling. Tax. Good idea. So and then they're like, oh, where did everybody go? Why isn't anybody working here anymore? Last late year, this is in the Seattle Times, the Associated Washington Businesses released an employer survey that asked, does your business plan to expand in Washington in the next 2 years? 80% said no. Where'd everybody go? Oh my God!
And we're not even seeing the results.
Boy, sometimes I question whether or not I should have endorsed Katie Wilson. I said I want to see socialism all in. Go all in. Stop, dipping your toes in there into the taxes and the blood. Just don't kill anybody. Let's try socialism without murdering 100 million people. Try it. See if it works. If it works, great. You'll change everything. If it doesn't, then we can go, okay, let's see. Socialism didn't, failing as it always does. We just throw it away, and that'll be it. I saw a really interesting study. When they asked people, are you in favor of capitalism? They said no. But then when they changed the word to not capitalism, but free enterprise, they said yes. So what's happened is they being the left, they being the media, they being institutional places of higher indoctrination, have been able to really soil the word capitalism. It's the same way that the Republicans blasted away at liberals, right? Then they said, liberal, are you a liberal? No. Nope, no. I'm a progressive. Oh, okay. Well, then you're not a liberal. No, I'm a progressive. So you just change the word around. So what happened was They pooped all over capitalism, but free enterprise? Oh, I'm all for that. The choice between the two. And then when you ask them to explain socialism as they understand it, what they say is, we don't want the government to own everything. We don't want to tax the hell out of us. We just want a strong safety net in case things go bad. Well, you kind of already hear that, so what are you complaining about? That was a weird new voice.
I like it.
Thank you.
Can you do it again?
No, I can't. It's those Buc-ee's commercials. They come to me once, and that's the end of it. Seattle's minimum wage laws backfiring in Uber and Lyft. This should not be a surprise to anybody either. Now the union wants to limit our drivers, our friends at minimum exactly. Yeah! A third party determining the value of something is crazy, right? You imagine going to a restaurant, the waiter comes over and you ask how much the soup is, and the waiter goes, "Oh, we got a really nice soup. It's a chicken noodle soup, and it's really full of chicken, and a lot of chicken in there." And it's, "Yeah, teeny." And then you say to the waiter, "What's it cost?" And the waiter says, "Well, we're having a special. It's only $5." And the third party, the government guy, goes, no. How the chickens lived, the amount of celery. We had migrant workers working to pick the celery. It's not going to be $5. It's going to be $11.
I don't believe this.
I know. Stick with me, teeny. And then you say to the waiter, "Who the hell is this guy?" And then, that's the government determining the value of everything. Oh. And then the waiter says, "Do you still want the soup? How much is it again?" And the government person says, $11. I'll pass on the soup, right? That's the same thing with minimum wage. Third party coming in, determining the value of the individual with absolutely zero knowledge of the person's skills, determines it's only fair if you pay him that amount of money. So what you get, just like nobody ordering the soup, no one's taking the Uber drive, no one's taking the Lyft drivers. They're getting less business because the last time I checked, when I went to drive, I took the Uber from here to the airport, it was like $110. $110. I told Charlie that, who took Waymo the other day.
Waymo.
Yeah, this is the one bad thing about Waymo. Say this. She has an emergency. Her throat's closing up. She goes to the doctor, goes, "I don't know what this is. It's bacterial, viral. I can't figure it out. But you better, because I can't determine why your lymph nodes are closing up your throat." She hurries up, goes to get an Uber. It's a Waymo. She pulls up to the hospital, to the emergency room, and then the thing says, "Looking for a parking spot." So she can't open the door. Looking for a parking spot right in the middle of the ER area, and it's circling around. She's like, "I gotta get a car."
How did she get out?
Finally found a parking spot.
Waymo, by the way.
Waymo?
Mo.
What's it short for?
I don't know.
Oh, well, now you
It's
don't
a new
know.
word.
I don't know you anymore.
They charge you way more than you ask for.
Oh!